on, man?
The Postal Jeep was my Everest. It was a vehicle that scores of people told me I couldn't fix. But as the doubters grew, so did my desire to lump this old mail carrier across the country.
We're in suburban Detroit still. We've driven probably 5 miles.
I missed that cabin with its rusted out dashboard, its floorboard hole exactly where my right heel wanted to rest, and its driver's side door that opened when accelerating from every stop sign. It's where I spent some truly joyful days.
It was pretty cold. But since I no longer feel pain, thanks to this horrible, horrible machine that I somehow love, it was fine. Everything was fine.
I'd been thinking about owning a Postal Jeep for quite some time, so it was no surprise that back in early August of 2018, something caught my eye on Craigslist. An Indianapolis-based seller mentioned that he had some Postal Jeeps for sale. He sent me 2 of the jankiest photos I'd ever seen, so naturally I bought it.
Whoa! Look at it, holy cow!
My goal when I bought this Jeep was to spend a few months fixing it and then to drive it 3,500 miles, roughly, from Michigan to Utah and back. So I wrenched until I dropped, not from fatigue, but from the horror, because the frame was totally toast. If I had to accurately describe what I was doing while I was fixing that Jeep, I'd say 95% of the time involved struggling to remove bolts and also crying a little.
Don't mind me, just out here cleaning out my frame. No big deal. I'd say it's going pretty well.
The frame took some time, which was unfortunate because the steering, suspension, brakes, electrical system, and body were all in need of desperate attention. On top of all those issues came another major setback. I discovered that the engine cylinder head had a crack and needed to be replaced. Now that I'm in the thick of it though, and even though it's clear that the old Postal wants to die,
well, it ain't sealing.
I'm not one to give up on an example of classic American iron. Oxide. No, I'm going for it. I'm going to pick up some steel, invite some friends over, and we're going to weld this frame until it's stronger than the barriers IIHS uses for crash tests. Through some stroke of pure luck from the gods, I was able to get my $500 1976 Postal Jeep running and driving.
Get in! Experience this!
I don't know if I want to do that, dude.
But my god, was that initial trip, even after all the repairs, terrifying.
Okay, we're just gonna see if this thing can go faster than like 25. It's not aligned yet. But anyway, there's just a lot of... So I just feel like this seat is just not... What is that noise?
We received a bit of a setback this morning. Really, today's just been setback after setback. This morning, we learned that in order for us to leave, we need a mechanic to approve, or at least to enumerate the issues with this vehicle, which, you know, we'll see what a mechanic will say. You know, steering and brake parts and all that are good, but it's also a rust bucket, so it's got a good frame, but it depends on who the mechanic is. It's a big question mark. I also drove this thing, got up to 45 miles an hour today. Something about it, the handling is not quite where it needs to be. We're gonna do an alignment right now, but as it sits, it's just not secure enough. It doesn't feel tight. It feels kind of all over the place, and it's just not gonna work for a long road trip. So, kind of not looking great right now, honestly.
Even though it was after I was meant to leave, I had the vehicle running and the engine idling. I had good tires, the headlights worked, I had turn signals, and yet somehow I had to give the machine 100% of my attention just to keep it going straight.
I might look tired, but I'm actually deep down pretty excited because I just got a call from the mechanic, and he said mechanically this thing looks pretty good. And I tried not to show how shocked I was. And he said he's worried about the body mounts. He's kind of worried, but that's it. Mechanically, he seems that's exciting. We should be able to take this thing on the road trip. We're 2 days late already, but the good news is we're on the home stretch right now. All we're doing now, we're replacing a few body mounts with some new hardware, and then we'll be good. We'll be all set. Okay, this is the moment. We're actually going to begin the trip. A couple of days ago, I did not think I was actually going to get this thing into good enough shape to drive long distances, but my friends helped out, and now it's rock solid. And you can see just how crazy all the wrenching was. Just look around my yard, there's crap all over the place. It was just a madhouse, just a mad rush, but we got it done, and yeah, it's time to leave now. So it's packed up. Let me show you how well the old POStal Jeep fits crap, because that's what it was designed to do. Actually, a lot of stuff in here. It may not look like it, but there really is. We put a whole bunch of fluids and tools and clothes and camera equipment, and there's a full suitcase there. There's a ton of stuff, and there's so much. Look at the height. There's so much room. Anyway, it is. Packaging is pretty darn good for interior space. It's awesome.